Hello, welcome back to the Legal Stamp with me, Elias. And today we are going to follow up to know what happened after those nominations. As I always told you, that God was so much involved in this exercise. We remember in the book of Exodus, chapter 18, verse 21, when God was telling Moses to choose leaders, judges, rulers of 10. He told them, moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds and rulers of fifties and rulers of tens. We see that a very good leader that the government or God is looking for, this is someone who is an able person, someone who is wise, someone who is God fearing, someone who trembles before the Almighty God, or a man of truth, or men of truth who are confident, who need also to know the truth, because if you don't know the truth, how can you do the truth? These are people who teach others right things. And it happened that on 24th September, 2 days back, we saw that the Electoral Commission went back to conclude on the people who are going to be presidential candidates whom you're going to find on the ballot papers. 8 confirmed for 2026 presidential elections race. No female, no candidate, no independent candidates. So we don't have any female, we don't have any independent candidate, but all the people who went through have their political parties they are representing. Now you're wondering what happened on that day. So Electoral Commission has officially cleared 80 candidates for Uganda's 2025-2026 presidential elections following the nominations that were held on 23rd and 24th at the Electoral Commission grounds in Luweza, Lubowa Wakiso district. The commission of the two, so there was a conclusion of this 2-day nomination exercise that marks the official start of 2026 presidential election race, with the campaign period scheduled to kick off on Monday, 29th September 2025. So next week we are going to see these campaigns kicking off very officially. So the exercise was presided over by Justice Yabakama Muchenyi. If you know that man, Simon, the Electoral Commission chairperson here, and returning officers of presidential nominations. So we find that there are a couple of candidates whom you're waiting for. So I'm going to start not in order, but I am going to give you the presidential candidates you're going to find in the elections who went through. Number 1, let me tell you, Nadala Mafavi for Forum for Democratic Change, FDC. Nadala Mafavi. He's a veteran opposition figure. He's promising institution accountability and transparency, stronger democratic reforms, well, former FDC leader. So if you remember former FDC leader Nadala Mafavi, that man, he is one of the aspirants that went through in the nominations. That is number 8. Then number 7, we have Joseph Mabirizi coming in Conservative Party, CP. And this man, he will be campaigning on conservative values and traditional social policies. Now, number 6, we have Robert Kasivante, National Peasants Party, NPP, National Peasants Party, NPP, Robert Kasivante, who is pushing for agrarian reforms, rural empowerment, and decentralization of agriculture policies, while his counterpart, Mabirizi, is campaigning for conservative values and traditional social policies. So we find that Kasivante, for him, he will be so much trying to promote the rights and the interests of peasants or rural local people. So we see that way. In number 5, we have retired General Mugisha Muntu. He went through in the nomination, and his political party of Alliance for National Transformation, ANT, General Gregory Mugisha Muntu, is part of the 8 presidential candidates that were confirmed in the nominations. And his manifesto, his agenda, He is advocating for national unity, inclusive development, and peaceful transition of power. So for him, he doesn't want those issues of fighting, sticking to a seat, rather peaceful transitions. Yes, that's what he's going to be telling people in his manifesto. And number 4, oh my goodness, number 4, Munyagwa Mubaraka Serunga, Common Man's Party, CMP. For him, I told you, all 8 confirmed presidential candidates have political parties, no independent. So I'm going to tell you, those people whom you expected and they did not go through, they were not nominated, they did not meet the prerequisites. Hey, they fell short of those prerequisites. So Munyagwa Mubaraka Serunga, if you know him, he was a former member of Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, and is carrying the flag of the newly formed Common Man's Party, CMP, with the spirited push of constitutional reforms, civil liberties, and accountable governance. So that is Munyagwa. And number 3, there is Frank Kabinga Bulira, Revolutionary People's Party. Frank Kabinga Bulira. That man whose campaign is focused on political and economical reforms, poverty reduction, and sustainable development. So don't wait. You cannot wait to find him, Frank, reaching out to you to present to you his manifesto. Oh yes, that one, that man met all the prerequisites. And number 2, the incumbent president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni from National Resistance Movement, NRM, is going to be part of the 8 confirmed. Actually, he was confirmed. He's going to come again for looking for his 7th term. So Museveni is fronting a campaign anchored on infrastructure development, healthcare, education, and anti-corruption. Yes, he's going to be with that agenda of anti-corruption, infrastructure development, healthcare, and education. However, there is something you need to know. When he came in power since 1986, his leadership faces criticism of authoritarian tendencies and human rights concerns. So many people have come to challenge him. They're saying, hey, you've led us for long, but let us see. He's going to campaign and let the best candidate win. Then number 1, we have Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu alias Bobi Wine for National Unity Platform, NUP. Yes, he's a prominent opposition leader and a former pop star. If you remember him, he's a musician running on anti-corruption and good governance platform. So that is his agenda, and his campaign appeals strongly to Uganda's youthful and urban electorate. So those are the 8 confirmed members who are going to contest and participate in the campaigns. All right. So, and among those who locked out this circle, the people I told you that remember, Electoral Commission was looking for qualifications in those presidential candidates. Many people, they over 30, pulled out the nomination forms, but only 8 were confirmed. Who missed out? That is a question. I had my candidate who had told me that he's going to contest, but I am not seeing him among him or her among the 8 confirmed members by the Electoral Commission. Among those locked out in this cycle are the prominent former contenders, including John Katumba. If you remember John Katumba Oye, he did not go through this time around. You will not see him on the ballot paper. Joseph Kabuleta, if you remember that man, he is not going to participate. William Mayambala and Nasser Kalembe, you remember those were also in 2021 presidential election race. So this time around are not going to be here. So you're not going to see Katumba. He's remembered for his energetic independent campaign in 2021 and failed to meet the Electoral Commission's requirements this time. So Kabuleta, the former Need Party, is not going also to be there. He was dropped out, though details remain unclear, and Mayambala and Kalembe, who both contested in the 2021, similarly were unable to secure clearance. So the Electoral Commission faced scrutiny over handling its nominations process of the 220 forms that were picked and only 38 were returned for verification. So, and another thing you need to know, that there is no female candidate. You will not see those people. Now, be that as it may, that's what God has for us this time around. So as I told you, we are looking for wise people. This is something on each person's mind. Our country need a better president. They need a God-fearing man, able man, and a man of truth. So that is all I wanted to report to you. So when they reach out to your district, when they reach out to your constituency, expect those 8 men. If other people tell you that I went through, please support me with money or what, is lying to you. And also be prepared to find 8 presidential candidates on the ballot papers. See you in the next video. Bye bye.